Hello everyone and welcome to the Institutional Scalper channel. Today we're joined by an impressive new addition to the team, Bailey. I have to give him his flowers. Bailey is an example of what can be achieved when you come into the group with a right mindset and work ethic, hitting the ground running. After not even 6 months in the group, he's passed the challenge and managed to keep a live account, even with what the majority consider to be the most challenging environment, i.e. high volatility. Welcome Bailey, how are you?
Thanks, bro. I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, we'll dive straight in. In the introduction, you've come in like a firecracker. See you in the chat every day, always posting in your journal. You've picked it up at crazy speed. Um, where have you picked up your studying habits and work ethic? What do you attribute that to?
I think honestly, we kind of talked about it before, but I didn't really have much of a work ethic, I guess, growing up, but I developed that kind of over time.
Mhm.
Just with life happens, man. Like
Yeah.
I grew up pretty poor, so I worked hard for everything that I did.
Mhm.
And uh, Yeah, I think I just am like a bulldog now at this point. I'm like I want to be somewhere. I just focus in, I laser in, and I tune out the distractions and the noise, and I just go full on. So, once I kind of found Scalper's course and the Orderflow course, and it just resonated, and
Yeah.
I was
Straight
like,
on it.
all right, this is this makes a ton of sense. This is, and I just went full on,
Yeah.
just
I
put
was
everything into it.
when I was writing up the questions for this, a quote came into my head that a good friend of mine put me on, which is opportunity is no sorry luck is when opportunity meets preparedness. And I think most people will see the results that you've come across, or people will say most people will see the results that you've put forward and go, oh, he's lucky. No, you've been working your ass off since you joined the group, bro. So
Yeah,
again, we've got to give
yeah,
you flowers, so props to
yeah.
you.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, with your story, like most people in the group, myself included, your interest in trading peaked after an introduction to crypto. How did you come across
Yeah,
crypto, and what did your entry into the scene look like?
yeah. Like many other people, got in on the 2017 crypto bull run and became exit liquidity for everybody. Uh, and learned the hard way. I was like, oh, okay, it's not going up, straight up. Uh, and that was my intro into it. And so I was like, okay, something's here. I'm just gonna keep going. But I
Mm-hmm.
was super green. Didn't really know where to start learning, and but got into it was really when I started to learn kind of breaking out of the matrix, so to speak, and starting to get awake to all these things that are
Unplugging.
happening, and working on myself is when I started to get more into crypto
Mm-hmm.
because I realized, oh, there's actually a portion here where there's an opportunity anyway to kind of get out of the current financial
Yeah.
system, which is so there was opportunity there. So I just kept diving in, and I was mainly XRP was like the big one for me that like got me like really into it. I was super bullish on XRP and like,
Brando's
oh
favorite.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, and then came the pandemic and everything, and so
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, diving into so bought the dip and made some money, in stocks and then moved that into, other investments. And then
Mm-hmm.
some didn't work out, some did, and just kind of started to learn along the way and eventually just came to being a hodler because I just got burnt with a lot of the retail, indicators and trying to, you know, all the garbage that
It's
those
yeah.
are.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
it seems like a common theme. Myself, yourself, Brando. I think some others all have had a similar story where we came into it with, well, as you do with anything new, come in a little bit puppy eyed and paid the price.
yeah,
But I feel like that's kind of what led us all to this same group. So in a way, it's paid off.
right.
Um, you've mentioned that you came across some indicators that didn't work that led you to essentially stick with hodling. What has been your experience with any retail trading groups and methodologies?
Yeah, I was using like the MACD, that was kind of what I was using, just bought when it crossed over and then sell when it crosses over. But and try to swing that way, but I just wasn't. It would work sometimes, but it was not. I was in the red for most of it,
Right.
and the period that I did it, and then I stumbled upon some others, and I can't really remember what they were. Came across like FEG, but didn't really get into that. I was like day trading, so it didn't really make sense for me,
Mm-hmm.
and so like none of it just resonated because I was just like, I don't know, I'm just kind of blowing.
Blowing money,
I'm just
yeah.
like gambling. It's just gambling,
Yeah.
really, at that point, because there's just like not enough information and your comp yeah, there's like nothing to really be confident on. So I just was like, you know what, I'm a hodler, I guess, for
Yeah.
for now. Uh and I'll just stick with crypto because there's more volatility there. So
To
that
be
was my
honest,
mindset.
knowing what we know now in terms of how the retail traders and retail methodologies, how much crap that is out there.
I ended up having like I ended up having getting rug pulled on some crypto, and so I was like, dude, you know
Which one?
what? This something else has to something has to change here. I gotta, and then I found scalpers. I just started looking at all scalpers info in the
Mm-hmm.
monthly, and I was like, dude, this is next level stuff. Like this is how the markets are moving, how market
Yeah.
makers are
It's a real
are
deal,
actually
bro.
like,
It's a real
dude,
deal.
the
I want
real
to
deal.
put a pin in that real quick because I didn't know that you were in DeFi. Um, so obviously your introduction, you're going to be using the deltas for DeFi, right? How did you
Yeah,
find
I
that?
was yeah, I was jumping into liquidity pools and testing those out and having some success with those.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and realizing, okay, cool, this is one tool that we can use to just generate yield. And
Yeah.
like why not? Because my crypto's been sitting there for years, not doing anything.
Want to put it
And
to work.
obviously you gotta, do your research and test it before you do it and just be
Mm-hmm.
smart about it. But yeah, I jumped into one. I was running 80% like right away, and it would like jumped up to 250 like the next couple weeks or whatever, so it fluctuates, but I
Mm-hmm.
was like, dude, like that's a huge opportunity there. And so
Yeah.
it just kept.
Two things. Did you use the deltas for DeFi?
Yeah, when I wasn't at that point initially. Then I started to it took me a little bit to start to use the deltas,
Mm-hmm.
but just setting the
The
using the
ranges.
deltas as parameter, yeah, your range.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like how clutch is that? That
Yeah.
is
It
like
looks,
that's
looks
so clutch.
from what I've
You
seen, it
don't
looks
even really have to
very
think about it
straightforward.
at
I'm
that
like,
point.
it
It's
cannot be that straightforward, bro.
it's
Um,
just a cheat code, man. It's just crazy.
yeah. So you've seen success with that, and then my second question was, you said you got rug pulled. What did you get rug pulled on?
Mhm. It was a staking protocol,
Yeah.
and I got rug pulled out of, yeah, quite a bit of XRP.
Right. Okay.
Um,
Was it
and
because of
so
what was it? Was it a high TVL? What was it exactly? What caused it?
yeah, it was just a staking like protocol, just a stake.
Right. Okay.
And they give you for the term period, they give you a percentage, and it just got rugged.
Right.
And so and I'm not usually like that was the first time that I've been rugged on it.
Mhm.
And so just in any loss situation, you just learn. It's like, okay, well, learn from the mistakes, but then it brings out other things too.
Yeah.
Like I realized, dude, I was I was in a place where I was really actually relying on all the XRP that I had,
Mhm.
and it was a safety net,
Yeah.
because I was like, oh yeah, this is like this bag that I have, like that'll be, set me, once it goes to
10,000.
yeah, 10,000. And
uh,
so but it was actually a great experience, to be honest. Like it
yeah.
helped me like realize, okay, actually, like, yeah, no, I don't want to like just rely on that.
Mhm.
And it pushed me to learn more, and
Yeah.
which brought me to Scalper's Orderflow course, because I was like, I really was looking at it at first, and I was looking at it, I was like, that's probably too much. That's too much for me. Like I never thought I'd be trading futures.
Mhm.
Never, ever. It just seemed like it was like out of my wheelhouse, so to speak. And then something switched, and I was like, you know what, dude, I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah.
was I assume because there's a common theme between most of the traders that come in, they have success quickly. With that they say the brightest candle burns the quickest, or something along those lines.
Mm,
So a lot of the people that are high performers and they come in, they've got that tenacity. They hit the wall harder, but they've got the characteristics to
uh,
keep going. They pick themselves up quicker and then they go again. Doesn't make it any easier, I suppose, but in your experience when you did face what I assume was your first big loss, how did you sort of bounce back from that? What was your mentality like at the time? What did you rely on to get yourself back into that solid and positive mind frame?
anytime the devil steals from you, you know, God avenges his righteous. So
Mm.
I looked at that as a learning experience. Obviously, there was I probably wasn't the smartest decision, but at the end of the day, that money's going to come back.
Yeah.
Money's just energy, regardless
Mhm.
of what form it is.
Yeah.
So, uh, you know, get through the disappointment of it, the bummer of it, but really, really, it's going to come back in one way or another. And so, you know, I believe that all that I lost is going to come back with more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I'm just going to do my part. I'm going to let God do its thing and bring
Mhm.
that money back to me. But I'm going to do my part to
You're already doing
you
your
know
part, bro. You're already doing your
yeah
part,
make
and it's already on its
yeah
way back to you.
appreciate it.
God
Yeah,
works just like that.
yeah.
Forgot what I was going to say. There's a lot of wisdom in the Bible, um, and I've had similar experiences, and it comes from seeking money quickly. And I think that's why most people come into day trading, they come into crypto, they come into DeFi, they get wrecked, and it's because they don't do what you're currently doing, which is the due diligence. You come in,
Right.
you're reading all the material, you're putting in the work. When money's on the line, large sums of money quickly, which is promised by a lot of the the let's say common YouTubers.
Hmm.
A lot of people come into the space expecting things quickly, and in the Bible it warns against just that. Quick riches will leave you twice as quick as you get them, and
Exactly.
I think that's that first barrier for entry. The people that come into it for the wrong reasons, and then the people that come into it for the right reasons. It's a tough lesson to learn, but for as I say, from most of the successful traders that we've come across, I mean, look at Sype. Like
Yeah.
there's big lessons to be learnt, man. It doesn't matter how
Big
far you are
lessons.
into the game. If
Yeah.
you can think you're doing everything right, and there's just a lesson around the corner. And I think that's life as well, in general.
Yeah. 100%.
It's not just trading. Anyway, I'll
Yeah.
stop rambling. Um,
Absolutely. I think I was in the group probably like 2 to 3 months probably before I started to dive into his material that he just put in the Discord. And once I kind of went through all that, I was like, all right, it's starting to make sense. I was like, all right, this is yeah, I just need to learn more. And so I hit him up. He responded like right away and answered my questions and I was like, all right, cool. So dove in like that next day and then just off to the races since then. Like it, he's probably I think one of the best mentors I've come across. He's excellent at what he does,
yeah.
and he's a great teacher as well.
Mhm.
He's really active. I was very impressed with that, and that like that resonated with me. I was like, that's a where we found a gem of a of a mentorship.
Yeah, I think I was speaking to him today about pretty much this exact topic, and basically, you're right in what you're saying. He's always available. He's a great mentor, a great teacher, um, and similar to Sype, just a very rock solid individual. I've been messaging him ad nauseum for 2 to 3 years, and not ever have I gone, oh shit, it sounds like he's having a bad day or anything like that. The guy is just so rock solid,
Yeah,
unshakable, which
yeah,
is pretty much what you have to be in these markets.
right.
So
He's a great example
yeah,
of what a
yeah,
successful like trader. I mean, he is
needs to be.
he's a great example.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah, he's a stand-up guy. let's
Yep.
finish with that. Um, so yeah, and you were predominantly doing DeFi prior to joining Orderflow. You didn't jump into the CypherX 2.0 or anything like that, no?
I started to like learn, but I dove. I decided to dive straight into
Straight
Orderflow
into
because
yeah,
there was gaps missing. I'm still, a beginner in the trading. I was a beginner in the trading, space. And I was like, 2.0 is great, like awesome. But there was just more foundation stuff that I needed. So I just needed to start from the bottom,
yeah,
work my way up,
yeah.
you know.
I get that. So what was your initial? Because I'd say anyone that joins the Orderflow now is, I'm going to use a word, lucky, because coming in now to where the
Yeah,
charts are at, the level that they are at is insane, and coming in
yeah,
and being
for sure.
straight, having straight access to those tools is nuts. What was
It
your
is nuts.
initial impression of the charts?
Well, yeah, I joined, I think it was June of this year. So, 3 months or so before the new charts came out, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also glad I did because I think it probably helped my foundation. But once those new charts came out, it was like, yeah, it's crazy how clear you can see what the market makers are doing.
Everything.
That clarity is just that's just mind it's just mind blowing.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have to mark as much
No,
on
it's
my
already
charts.
there.
Yeah, like barely at all. You'd have to like mark it, which saves me time, so I can just, you can just really analyze,
Mm-hmm.
and it saves time analyzing. So he just simplified it so much.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I just can't say enough how much of a cheat code those are and how crazy they are. They're just amazing.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
totally changed. It did. It changed a ton. The process and the how you trade.
Yeah, so speaking of, obviously you've mentioned you do a bit of crypto, you've done a bit of stocks, and now you're in Orderflow doing futures. How has using Orderflow changed how you make trading decisions, whether it's in any of those markets?
Like huge. Like it's totally changed my perspective on the markets, market manipulation, market makers, how they manipulate the markets, how they're trapping and trapping each other. I mean, just um, it before my mindset was pretty much just okay, just try to buy low, sell high,
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Yeah.
a very, very just rudimentary kind of thought process.
Mm-hmm.
But now those charts help me see where you could pretty much catch bottoms and peak tops. Like
Yep.
you can pretty much just you can look at where the support levels are, where market makers are trapping each other. You can look, I mean, it just shows it so clearly that, like, okay, if I was planning to get into some uh anything in whatever market, then I'd be able to see where their potential bottom was and then get in at a good price and get out when there's a reversal, or
Mm.
where sellers are starting to take over. So and prices switching hands. So it totally changed how I see his how I see the markets and how they move, and the algos. Like I had no really idea that of the level of high frequency trading that goes on. I didn't really know that's really all it is.
Yep.
And you're just yeah, I didn't really understand before. But
Yeah.
now it's completely changed where, all right, I'm starting to see where the market makers and the algorithm starting to accumulate price, it's starting
Mm-hmm.
to reverse, and
You can see it.
that's a game
You
changer.
see it
Game
happening,
changer.
and then obviously because Usman's been doing it for such a long time,
Yeah.
he's got the all the different models, so you can see, oh, this is playing out. And the thing is that the thing that's really cool with the latest update on the charts is when we started with the delta setups, and now you can see, the manipulation setup taking place on the deltas. You can see the sellers being trapped in real time. You're like, how has he figured this out, bro? How?
Dude.
It's nothing short
Yeah.
of wizard
Yeah.
craft.
Nuts. Absolutely crazy.
Has it helped you identify better trades, entries, exits, and avoid bad trades? Of course.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah. You, you know, when you are trying to assess yourself as a trader, sometimes it can be difficult to know what you're doing wrong
Mm,
or identify what you're doing wrong. Like it's but with these tools, you it's almost clear as day. Like if you get into a bad trade, you know pretty much immediately. Like,
yeah.
oh, okay, I got in when my side just is getting trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can see where they are putting the opposites in pressure. So you kind of know when you're getting into a bad trade.
Yeah.
So it's made it much easier. I'm still, still learning how some, refining, when I get into bad trades, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like night and day, and it's totally helped me. These new charts have t tremendously helped me cut back on those bad trades and mistakes that I've made.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
huge.
I will say that with the charts being as well developed as they are, whenever I have a bad day or a series of bad days because I'm not following a plan, or maybe my habits outside of trading haven't been what they need to be, not so much a problem recently. But whenever you go back over the charts at the moment, it's never a miss because everything's so
Right.
crystal clear on there. It's like, oh right, okay.
Exactly.
I said it. I did say it to him, and I'm like, bro, every time that I've finished trading after I've spent 30, 40, 60 minutes on the hedonic treadmill just spamming, I've fallen into that loop. Unfortunately, I look back and I'm like, what was I thinking? Because the charts are just
Yeah.
they don't lie. You look back and you're like, bro, how can I be so
No.
stupid? And then
Yeah.
that's a good thing to have because you don't want to do that for very long. You don't want to feel like a clown. So,
No.
and there is no room for, oh, this doesn't make sense on these charts. It makes complete
Right.
sense. You've missed it.
It's
You've not
Yeah.
been in
It
your right.
takes out a lot of the like mystery and the gambling that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you're trading, like without these charts, like it is very clear,
Mm-hmm.
like what is happening, what the market makers are doing.
Yeah.
Like it is very clear.
And as we were saying at the start of the call, it's the markets now that there's not so much noise because you're not stressing about all of the hundreds of variables that are supposedly present in the market. When you've got access to these charts and these tools, and you simplify it down to the fact that price is only going to do two things, it's either going to be reversing or it's going to be in transit from A to B. We can see that A to B. Have we got the reversal?
Exactly.
No. Okay, we're going to be looking for continuation trades then, or pullback trades.
Yep.
It's it's dead simple,
Exactly.
bro.
It
Uh,
makes it super simple. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
and then it's just a case of
Yep.
self management and
Right.
having the correct mentality, which is all about
Yep.
habits throughout the day and how you're spending your time, etc. Uh,
Yep.
how confident are you now using these charts in live trading conditions?
Yeah. Very like way more confident. Like way more confident. I was the older charts were awesome. I was seeing a lot of like success with those, but I was still making mistakes, still learning at that point also. Um, but they make it so much easier to identify what's happening, be confident in what's happening, and be able to see things from higher time frames all the way to our micro charts.
Mm-hmm.
And you could just stack confluences.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's really easy and simple, and it's just can't talk how high enough about the charts. They're a game changer for sure. Cheat code.
yep.
But you got to get good at using the cheat code.
You do.
It's like there is like a it's like you can it's like I sometimes I'll fumble inputting a cheat code. Put in the wrong
Yeah.
key or whatever.
It was
And
up,
it's
down,
like
left, right, not.
yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, yeah, I just got to get good or better at using the cheat code.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
so
and
there is depth to it for sure, but it does make it super simple.
yeah, and we were speaking off camera about how trading entire encapsulation of self mastery is this journey because it requires complete and utter self accountability. There's no one else to blame. And the thing is, as with trading, majority of people have got half an excuse. They're trading retail methodologies. I don't
Yeah,
think I'd be able to do that. But with these charts,
totally.
there really is no excuse. If you can't make money with these, there's something wrong with you.
Dude,
You're doing
yeah,
something wrong.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. You might need to, yeah, just go back to the drawing board.
You might need to speak to your
Yeah,
doctor about something. But yeah,
for sure.
so you've done cryptos, you're familiar with stocks, you've done DeFi. How do you find trading futures?
I actually really enjoy it. Way more than I thought I would. Intimidating at first, but the more you start to trade it, you realize how many more opportunities you have.
Yeah.
Like, like I was, I was, tr started to trade some crypto, and there'd be great setups. I'd get like a nice, nice like 200 point move in crypto,
Mhm.
and off of what, I was doing it off my own money. So, I'd make a few $100 or $400 or something like that on a trade, which is great. But that trade took hours,
Mm.
hours to run. And futures is like so much faster.
Yeah.
It's so much faster. Uh, it's nice because it's setups are happening way more frequently,
Yeah.
and
Multiple setups per session.
yeah, there's so many setups, and it just moves so much faster. It's nice, that you don't have to trade as long, and there's more opportunity there,
And
which
you're not
is
worried. Well,
that's kind of what you want.
I'll say you're not as worried about a manipulation wick or something just wiping you out that really doesn't make sense. That's the reason why I don't really trade crypto, because I'm always worried about that.
Yeah,
Some crazy wick
yeah,
out of nowhere for no reason. I think
yeah,
even with our
absolutely.
charts, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
there's an order block or an imbalance somewhere in the market that it just wicks down to, but I don't want to take that
yeah, but
chance.
that's the cool thing is with these charts, it's like 90. You can see it happening
Yeah.
before it happens.
All right. Okay.
Like with crypto, like that big rug pull that we just had.
Mhm.
Scalper was in there
To be
showing.
fair, yeah, he was
He was
saying it
showing
day
it was gonna
before.
happen
So, okay, right.
before it.
I'll shut up.
it
I need to start trading crypto. Yeah, for those that don't know, the recent drop. When are we? We're in.
that was yeah, that was on the 9th,
Yeah,
so
we're
just like a
currently
couple weeks ago.
October. So was it 9th of this month or 9th of last?
This month, yeah, October 9th.
Yeah, some huge mass liquidation event, and as he does in all his glory, Scalper days before was just like, oh, check this out, and of course, people like me,
Yep, here's all the signs.
no, don't know what
But
that is, so I'll just ignore it, and then just, oh, by the way, guys, in case you missed it, I've been pointing this out for the past week.
exactly, yeah, exactly, exactly.
uh,
That's crazy. It's crazy the level, the quality that this group is at, because like stuff like that, like it wrecked people in retail. People couldn't handle it, and
mm-hmm.
yet it didn't phase Scalper,
Nope,
Cypress,
they
like
saw
it
it
didn't
coming.
phase people in this group.
If they didn't get the people that were affected by it didn't care because they knew what it was. So the people that didn't
Yeah,
anticipate it were calm as a cucumber because they know how the markets work. And then anyone who did know what was coming profited from it. I don't think there's anyone in there
exactly.
that took a whooping. They weren't panicking at the bottom and then became exit liquidity. I don't think that's anyone in
Yeah,
our group. But
yeah.
yeah.
Dude, I actually almost caught that move too. I was trading Solana, and I entered a short right before it happened,
Mhm.
and I ended up having to go to work, but it stopped me out.
Uh huh. And then
It
just
did a little manipulation M3, and then it and then it tanked. I was like, dude, I almost had that thing. Come on. It's crazy.
so last question. Then you're gonna open up the chart, show some of your favorite setups, favorite elements of the charts. Of course, you've learnt that from somewhere. So last question is the lessons that Uzi provides. How comprehensive are they? How, because you've obviously been studying them. You've been balls deep in them. So how comprehensive are
Yeah.
they? How easy are they to understand and extrapolate the information that you need so that you can apply it in the markets?
Yeah, great question. All his lessons are laid out they're structured really well. He's really good at structuring kind of what you need, not really giving you any noise.
Mm-hmm.
So he gives you, okay, this is what's happening. This is what I saw. He breaks it down really, really kind of step by step,
Mm-hmm.
which is really helpful in assimilating that information to have it makes it makes it really easy. So his lessons are structured really well. They they I always kind of journal all of like the lessons and stuff, so I have them with me and like I can go through them and stuff a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
But they are very easy to go back to and review.
Yeah.
It's the way he does it is that he lays them out really well. They're easy to access to. And with your journal, you can throw your,
You can link it
parts of the
so you can hop
lesson,
back
yeah,
into
just
the
into your
lesson where you
journal to
need
go
to.
and yeah,
Uh,
exactly, and review it. He makes it's really easy. The way it's laid out is really easy.
yeah, yeah,
It's
completely agree.
yeah,
And then I'm gonna add on to that question in terms of, because again we'll talk about how you've come on leaps and bounds in such a short period of time. How often? What's your journaling approach? How often are you going back over the lessons? What's your note taking strategy? How are you going
yeah.
about all that, man?
That's a good question. Yeah, usually after a lesson, I'll go and I'll journal that lesson, and then I'll, do drills, or try to go and apply the lesson to try to just get it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll review at first, definitely at the beginning, I was reviewing them multiple times, sometimes even a day, just constantly going over it, trying to soak it all in. Because I'm like a sponge, I'll just I'll just continue to go over things until it kind of clicks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if on a trading day, I'll take my trades and then I'll go and journal. I'll journal after, and uh, you know, I'll journal the trade, what it was like, the whether it was a win, whether it was part of my trade plan, whether how many, what the size of the trade was, our mistake. I'll always make a note of, the mistake I made. And then I'll go back over basically my setups and the trade plan, and then I'll just kind of
Refine it.
just keep refreshing myself,
Yeah.
now I don't have to go over those lessons as much, but I'll still do it because
Mm-hmm.
especially when I'm feeling like, oh, there's an off
Something
day or something like
something
that. It's
missing.
like
Yeah.
just refresh your mind because even though you know it, it's like we were talking about it before, like off camera. It's like it's easy for doubt and lack to kind of get in, and then you're not seeing clearly.
Mm-hmm.
So even though you know the setup, you know it, you're just
Yeah.
not seeing clearly. So I'll just use, I'll go back and I'll refresh myself with them. And there's usually, another aspect as I'm learning and growing. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'll pick up on another, aspect or something like that. That helps kind of rise, soak it in a little bit better.
Yeah. And I think that's important as well because it is so easy to forget, what you've learned because there is so many different
Totally.
elements to market dynamics that we've got to learn. And
Yeah.
if you're not recapping, it's very easy to forget. And then what you've done is you've come in and you shared it today. Trading plan. For most people, myself included, first year or two, just turning up hedonic treadmill style, clicking, clicking, clicking. Yeah, maybe you're journaling, but you're not really doing any work. Like you've just come in and straight away. I don't know whether it was off the back of the L that you took from DeFi, but you just switched on and you're straight out. And again, you've done very well with that. So thank you
Yeah, I
for
appreciate
being
it.
a shining example, sir. Yeah, let's open up some charts and you can show us your stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull up Solana. Oh yeah, you need to let me share my screen.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Yeah, so like I said before, his charts let you kind of see things super clearly. This is Solana. This was the rug pull liquidation event that happened on the 9th. Scalper was showing us ahead of time where sellers were absorbing and trapping buyers and creating a bearish environment. these charts have lines that show where absorption and defense is basically taking place. So these sellers trapped buyers, created resistance here, and they once it got retested, they created more resistance,
Mm-hmm.
and buyers could not break through. They and basically, and that's where sellers took over and crushed through their support, the buyer support. These imbalances, these little boxes are imbalances.
Mm-hmm.
Blue's buy, yellow is sell. So these sellers, they put a ton of heavy sell volume here and kept buyers. Buyers could not break through it. So super easy to see clear as day that sellers were in control and they were looking to make a drop on buyers.
And then on top of
And
that, sorry to interrupt, but
yeah, you're good.
straight away, this is a reversal pattern. That highest leg from the high to the left,
Exactly.
the highest high,
Yep, this one right here.
yeah,
Yep.
that's literally slap your fib on that, and there you go. And then you can see the trap buyers
Oh,
right there, seller defense
exactly.
wall,
That's my favorite one.
boom,
Oh, I don't have the price
beautiful.
project. I don't have the retracement
Those
tool
who
on this
know,
one.
they know.
Yeah,
We don't need to
exactly.
annotate it.
Right there.
If you want to
Yep,
know exactly what
100%.
we're talking about, which makes this so easy to recognize, then cough up, pay for the course.
Yeah, yeah, jump in, you'll get these charts. Yeah. Cheat code.
But yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
as you
So
were.
that's yeah, anyway, I usually go start at the daily and then I look at kind of where we're at, what the action's been the last few days. Like buyers have been defending the support level for, and since that liquidation, or that rug pull. And it's been retested a couple times. Past 2 days were bearish. So sellers created a resistance here, and but buyers today has so far have been breaking through resistance and look like they are trying to test this resistance again. But it looks like they might be getting a little weak here. Then I'll just drop down and kind of see what's going on in a lower time frame. That's kind of obvious. So far in the last 4 hours, we have a sell imbalance. So sellers were trying to throw a bunch of heavy volume at this resistance level,
Mm-hmm.
but buyers broke through and they're showing some strength here. So they probably are going to test this resistance and they might break it this time. Um, and I'll just drop down. We got some micro. The micro charts are awesome. These are epic because you can start to see like down here. This is where the that buyer support was.
Yep.
This level down here, and
And
I'll
that
look at
is
all of
the
this. Like this is a nice like reversal here. Like all these arrows just indicate pressure. So selling pressure, and this is buying pressure. There was no selling pressure here. Ton of buying pressure here. We had a nice pattern here that
yeah.
formed
That's
that
the
scalper teaches.
that's the pattern that he's been getting us to drill most recently. So the base retest where it breaks through by just a few ticks and then prints a fresh imbalance line. That's your reversal pattern. So you can
Yep,
literally catch the very
pretty.
bottom of the moves as I did today on NQ.
Yeah, very bottom. Yep, yep. You had a
So clutch.
glorious trade today. Yep, and you can see right where they're trapping. So sellers tried to trap heavy buy volume there, but then buyers trapped selling volume there and
Mm-hmm.
just flushed, just flushed. And at each resistance place, you can see where their buyers are throwing heavy volume. There's a
Yeah.
resistance here. Buyers threw heavy volume and just kept pushing.
And you've got
So
that
it's
you've got that empty space just above the range where they've allowed space for buyers to run, which is interesting.
yeah,
There's no sell
right. No resistance.
sell
No.
imbalance lines. It's just boom,
Yeah,
and that's where buyers gain the
exactly.
momentum. Did it retest
They
here
just
at
went.
all by any chance?
No,
Not
it
yet.
hasn't retested yet.
Not yet. It's coming.
No. Yeah. It looks like yeah. So we got a ton of sell pressure here. Buyers are they're showing some weakness,
To be
but
honest,
we're
if
seeing
we switch back, or we don't need to, but on the higher time frame, it looks like buyers are in a position to really push from there. Because the same as we've just seen on the
yeah,
lower time frame on the 50 tick, where we've got
yeah,
the retest of the absorption line and then a print of fresh absorption line. We've done that on this chart as well, along the bottom of those two ranges. So I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if we push from here quite a solid push.
No, no, it looks like buyers are accumulating here.
Yep. Yeah, they
So
are.
yep, I agree. I agree.
Woo!
So we got a nice range, um, nice range that might be a good position to enter into, take along.
Not
Yeah.
financial
Anyway, that's kind of
advice.
what I look at. It's how easy these charts are, how clear they are.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so is I think you've done a quick breakdown of PA there. Is there anything more you want to add?
Not unless you had something in mind. I
No,
think
no.
yeah,
And
these
because
charts are pretty clutch.
what does your plan consist of again? It's you've put together an accumulation of most things, right? So if there's any,
Yeah,
you've basically gone through with my interruptions. You've gone through how you view the market from a top down perspective. Um, and most people watching this probably don't know what we're talking about. It'll take a while to sink in, but it's super clear. That's why I'm sat here with a smile on my face because I'm just looking at the charts now. And to be honest, I've been trading for nearly, I'd say 2.5, maybe nearly 3 years. And when I first started, I remember coming to the markets and having no clue what was going on. I
oh
was so
yeah,
lost at sea. I looked at the charts and I just had no clue. And then fast forward two and a
yeah,
half years and it's gone very quickly. And to be able to look at the chart and call bottoms and see all this, and it's not because
yeah,
I'm anything special. It's because these fucking tools are from another planet.
yeah,
We're just so
yeah.
blessed, bro.
Yeah, and you had a great analysis, this rising and caught that bottom. So you're getting clutch with these tools, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't think I'd ever like be able to, analyze the markets or, at this depth. Like I
Mm.
didn't really know that was possible or available to just a random guy like me.
Well, that's the thing. It isn't. That's why we're very very
Right.
lucky to have them. I don't think
We're very
I've
lucky.
seen some things that are somewhat similar to the first iterations of the charts that we had, but nothing close to this.
Yeah,
Nothing
nothing
even
close.
close. So
Nothing is
we're
this
very
accurate.
blessed. But yeah, I think we can pretty much wrap up there. So if you want to stop sharing, and then I'll just let you take the take the stage a little bit. Anything you want to get off your chest? I guess messages for new traders, anyone thinking of taking the leap and joining, either whether it's the Delta setups or just getting in touch with Uzi, reaching out. Um, yeah, what would you say to any new trader, anyone looking to enter the space, anyone watching this video that hasn't yet pulled the trigger?
Yeah, I think one thing that I would love to mention is just based off of like what we were talking about before, how lack and doubt can kind of cloud our vision and what we can see. And it's really easy to kind of focus on that like discouragement, even as a experienced trader, but especially as a newcomer, like that the focus on the lack and the doubt, it like it will bring it's like bringing resistance into the growth that we want to see because all want to be profitable and we all want to step into like another level, of thriving. But lack focusing on lack totally it keeps the breakthrough kind of at bay. It keeps us from that breakthrough because it's almost like adding a cell wall or resistance where buyers can't break through. It's like
Yeah.
it's that lack is so it repels abundance. Like if you've ever done any like studies on quantum or frequencies, like everything has a frequency. Like love has a frequency, really high frequency. Fear
Mm.
has the opposite. It's a low frequency.
Mm-hmm.
And when we get focused on lack or discouragement or doubt, we're like vibrate at this low frequency. And the rule of that like quantum is like like frequencies attract like frequencies.
Yeah.
So whenever we get stuck in that like lack, doubt, fear kind of mindset, we vibrate at this low frequency and we attract that low frequency. So it's literally like adding resistance in your life. Like if you're going down a river and you're trying to row upstream really hard, that's really hard to get to where you want to be. But sometimes it's letting go of control of what these circumstances are going to look like in order and let yourself flow down the river and just be gracious and gratitude, focusing on gratitude and enjoying the ride, even though it doesn't look like what you'd want it to look.
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that brings that breakthrough so much faster because there's no resistance.
Yeah.
And that's that shift of like, oh, focusing on lack versus focusing on abundance. Oh
Mhm.
man, yeah, okay, I'm working a 9 to 5, but what am I grateful for about
Yeah.
this 9 to 5? And like, oh dude, we're learning a 1%, skill,
Mhm.
top 1% skill.
Yeah.
Um, we're gonna get there eventually, but
Yeah.
if we can like if we can just let go of the control, um, what I've found is I think that it actually brings that breakthrough a lot faster,
Yeah.
and it brings that everything faster. So like removing that resistance and getting away from lack and mindset, because I grew up poor. Easy for me to get into a lack mindset and focusing on what I
Yeah.
don't have, or focusing on those kind of things,
Yeah.
and that's easy in any area of life, to be honest.
Mhm.
But
The devil is
oh,
always
one thing
waiting.
I've
That's one thing
yeah,
you
dude,
can rest assured that the devil is proactively waiting for you to fall into that
exactly,
mindset and look
exactly,
back. And that's why it's important
exactly.
to have a vision. And sorry to interject, but
Yeah, you're
vibing
good.
with what you're saying. But you've got to have a vision and something to look forward to. Because if you haven't, if you're not planning to move somewhere, then that voice in your head, the devil is just he's gonna be present, and it's gonna be alluring
Exactly.
because
Yep.
you're not marching towards something. You haven't got direction. You haven't got purpose. If you haven't written that down and you're working towards it, you're in place. And the what is it they say? The idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Yep.
And I'll shut up
Exactly.
now. I've said my piece.
No, dude, you're preaching, man. Let's go. And who is the devil? He's the god of lack.
Yeah, man.
That's just who he is. He wants so bad to steal, kill, and destroy, and he wants you to focusing on lack.
Yeah.
He doesn't want you to step into the abundance.
Mhm.
Who's our Father in heaven? He's the Father. He's the God of abundance.
Yeah.
That's what he came to give us. And so it's if you can just keep focusing on gratitude, kind of like when you try to control things, you're not trusting God in your
Mm.
life. You're trying to control it a certain way, but it's not trusting He has a plan for you. And there's a big aspect of that of, letting go, kind of letting that river take you. It might just be better than what you tried to control. I can't make very good plans for myself.
t-
They don't work out super well.
to be honest, I feel like the the I feel like life is downstream. Most people get washed away because they don't realize that they have the strength to move upstream with
Yep.
God's help. And
Mhm.
I think that's why 98% of people end up going that way because they don't realize how strong that they are. And if they just put up that little bit of resistance and trust in God and in themselves, they can swim upstream, and it just gets
Big
easier and
time.
easier. Otherwise, you just
It
get
does.
washed away and you end up like everyone else. Ain't no one coming to save you.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. When you build that strength of relying and trusting on Him, it's you can withstand anything.
You know.
That's why big L's in this space, you take a big L or you get rug pulled, you take a big L. That's why, it just is like water on a duck's back at a
L
certain
stands for
point, because
lesson,
it's
bro.
like
I learned my lesson.
yeah. Yep, yeah, you and me both. You and me both, bro.
But
But yeah, that's probably all I'd say. Definitely people should reach out to the scalper, if they have questions.
yeah,
He's
just about to say,
his
it's
yep.
back to the script as
He
we wrap up. If you're interested in learning more about the institutional scalper approach, please like and subscribe, and make sure to check out the rest of the content on the channel. Or for further info, contact institutional_scalper on Discord or email institutionalscalper@gmail.com. Links for both of those in the description. Bailey, really appreciate your time. It's been great having you on. Keep
Thanks,
doing what you're
bro.
doing, bro. You're gonna be profitable soon.
Thanks,
Come
brother.
laters, man.
That's right. We are.
Yes, sir.